Hello, everybody. This is Erica Hamill. I'm obviously Wyatt's mom, and I told you earlier today that Wyatt's Law was indeed going to be going live today, and I thought instead of typing out like just a long post, it would be best if I got on video and explained the law and how we got to where we got here and how you'll be able to access it. Obviously, today is November 1st, 2022, which is also 9 years ago today why it was shaken. So there, I did not pick that today's date for them to go live, so that was just a coincidence. So it's just another reason to me. Everything happens for a reason, and it's very special that on this horrible day that brings back a lot of bad memories that we're going to be able to celebrate that something good started today. Um, I just wanted to explain, like I said, how the bill and how it's going to work. Um, the word registry was a word that I obviously thought of right after Wyatt was abused because I thought, how are people that are, sexually abused children have to register, but people that physically abuse children don't? Which started this whole thing, and what we came what we dealt with, in the legislature was you have the federal lawsuits against the sex offender registry right now. I don't agree with the rulings, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And constantly getting pushed back because of the issues with the SOR. Uh, the other thing was also if we would have gone the straight registry route and created a registry for child abusers, it could not be retroactive, which means that people already convicted, like Wyatt's abuser, Rachel Edwards, would not have to register. They would not be on this. And that's because it would violate their constitutional rights. Because in court, in sentencing, they would have had to know that they would have had to register. Because most sex offenders, part of their sentencing is, this whatever sentence, and then you will have to register for this amount of years or for whatever amount of time they give you. So it was kind of it's 7.5 years of trying to get this passed and get it right, and it's been a lot. But when I thought about it, I said, I don't know, I don't think I'd feel good about having Wyatt's Law go live with zero names on it. And um, we knew that there were some other legislators that were trying to rectify the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, aka CPS, the Central Registry, and uh, Representative Hertel, who has helped spearhead this and get this past the finish line, approached me and said, maybe we want to go the route that they're going, where we clean up the central registry and then make the people who really should be on there for really horrible crimes for children and make that public. And so there was a lot going back and forth on that. And like I said, Wyatt's Law, House Bill 5276, was one of 9 bills that was passed back in spring. So our bill does not pertain to the people being removed off the central registry. So I know there's been a lot of people with questions about that. I can't answer that because our bill does not pertain to that. What Wyatt's Law does is it provides parents or guardians um, access to the central registry. So if they have reason to believe that their child is in danger, or at risk or whatever, maybe you just want to see, a babysitter you're hiring, you can now go to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services website, and I will provide a link in the comments below, um, and put a request in. And the request is an email, and they will email you basically. You got to give them as much information as you can. It, I think it specifically does request like birth date. social security number, but I've gone over several times with the legislators I've been working with that that is not the case. You won't need all those specifics. They just, if you have them, they just would like that. So basically, you're going to put in the request, and by law, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will have to tell you if this person is on the central registry or not, and what what they're on there for. Um, which in my case would have 100% saved Wyatt, because I had tried to ask a CPS worker if they could run her name, and they couldn't. They said that that information is not public, can't do that. And so there's going to be two separate portions of this. There's going to be, if you have a friend of the court case going on, um, you're going to have to make the request through friend of the court. Um, I think that's a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Because you're already in the middle of a custody battle or whatever you're doing with friend of the court. So this is going to kind of give friend of the court a red flag and be like, okay, like when I was going through my custody battle and I said, I just heard rumors about this woman, blah 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 blah. Couldn't search the internet, couldn't find anything on there. And these judges and referees, they just didn't care. They were just like, well, that's just hearsay. Now they are required to run that person's name for you and find out if indeed they are a child, they have been found guilty of child abuse on the central registry. So again, if you have a friend of the court case, you're going to go that route. Um, if you do not have a friend of the court case, then you simply just will go to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services site, and there will be a link with an email to put a request in. And like I said, that's where you'll give all the information, and they will give you, like I said, an answer back. Um, I know this isn't the searchable online database that we were like hoping for, but that's a future goal to hopefully build a database like this. Again, nothing. There's been a couple states that have passed registries for child abusers that have been similar to Wyatt's Law, but they're running into problems too because of the new sex offender registry rulings. We are doing this. I believe we are the first state in the United States for anything like this. And like I said, it's not going to be a perfect process, but by law, we are allowed to know as parents, like I said, guardians, put a request in, put a name in, who is on this registry. And this is specifically for, like I said, scenarios where you want to hire a babysitter for your child, your ex is dating somebody else. It's not going to get into like addresses and pictures. That's kind of what they're steering away from with the sex offender registry too. But the power of information is everything. And um, again, be able to, I'm really proud that we, like I said, something that was not public for so many years is now going to be able to be accessed. So so if you have any questions, please feel free. Again, I don't know if I'll be able to answer everything. I know, again, it's not perfect, and I ask again for please patience and grace while the department figures this all out, because I'm sure they're going to get a lot of requests. We're trying to work on timelines. I requested that a date that if you submit a request, that it be at least right now starting that it's a week or less. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see like 48 hours you get an answer, but I know, again, this is brand new to them. They're going to have to really find the right way to do this. And everything, like I said, everything, we have gone through this meticulously, and I yeah, I just it this is this is happening. This is a law now. So I hope you all hope that was a better explanation. Like I said, I'm sure you still have some questions, but we'll figure it out together. Today, Michigan kids are now safer because this exists and this information can be released now. It is not a secret. You can request it now. You don't have to be police or just a school. We as the public can request information on a name, and that's huge. That could save a life. I always say if this saves one life, it would be worth it. But I have a feeling it's going to save a lot of lives, and it's doing it the right way.